No, it was not the way that they wanted it to end in Columbus with the Blue Jackets, but the future is still bright. So many good young players there. And joining us now is their general manager, Jarmo Kekalainen. And Jarmo, got to congratulate you. You got a new contract extension. How does it work? We know how it works for players. We see it play out publicly. How does it work for executives when you go through that process of getting an extension?
Well, I guess you take it as a vote of confidence and you go through the process of negotiating a contract just like with the players or coaches or trainers or anything else, just a little bit less dollars than the players get. So that's about it.
Well, Jarmo, reportedly an extension in the works for head coach John Tortorella as well. What's the latest on that? And in your opinion, what do you like about him as a coach and what makes him a good fit for your club?
Well, him and his staff, they've done a great job for us. Had a great season with 108 points a year ago. Made the playoffs 2 years in a row. I think the way we play, we're hard to play against. We play a fast-paced game, an intense game, and he allows young players to develop and play with their strengths, within their strengths, and encourage these guys to not be afraid of making mistakes. So there are a lot of things in his philosophy that we like, and we expect to improve also. And I think that's one good quality with John Tortorella, that even though he's an experienced coach, and I think just turned 60, he is like a little kid still, wants to learn new things every day and get better. And that's a nice thing to have.
Jarmo, with you getting a new contract, I just want to ask you, what have you learned on the job? This is always, the general manager's job always strikes me as one that you do have to learn certain things when you're in that seat. What have you learned over the first couple of years as the manager of the Blue Jackets?
Well, I try to approach it that I need to learn something every day. And the day that I think that I don't need to learn anymore should be the day that I retire from hockey management, because there's always something new that you can find and learn, and you should be approaching it that way. And I'm still young. I've been in this job a little over 5 years now. I'm 52 years old, so I'm not looking forward to retiring anytime soon. So I'm hungry to learn every day, and I try to learn from people that I work with, people that I work against, people that I deal with in other situations outside of hockey. Try to study, read, keep my ears open and listen a lot. So that's my philosophy, not just in hockey, but in life in general.
Spoken like a very intelligent man. So a follow-up on that question, the new season right around the corner. Obviously, last year didn't end the way that you guys wanted it to end. You know, you had a good lead against the eventual Stanley Cup champions that didn't work out. What did you learn from that experience, and what do you think, your team this season needs to do a little bit better?
I think we all learned that it's hard to win 4 games, hard to win a series against a good team that has some experience and have had those experiences where they were disappointed. I think maybe we got a little ahead of ourselves with 2-0 lead, and we got in Washington. We played well. I think we had our best game in Game 3 and ended up losing that game. So there was a good lesson right there in that game, and then the series got away from us. We had a great chance in Game 5 again in Washington, where we felt that we probably had one of our, if not the best game of the series, and felt that we outplayed and outchanced and had some great opportunities in the third period to put the game away and put the series 3-2 heading back to Columbus. But they ended up winning that game in the overtime as well. So great lessons, too many good lessons almost, and that makes for a long summer. And it's sometimes you have to go through those things with the players that you have, the young players that you have. And, just look at Washington. It took them a few years to get to where they're at. Now they're champions, and deservingly so, and they have a great team. And that's where we're aiming at.
It's funny, the sport has a tendency to break your heart before you usually reach the pinnacle. If you look back at a lot of the teams that have won it, they struggle before they win it, just like the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, that does happen, and I'm sure that you're hoping that you will follow that path. I got to ask you, we talk about your contract, and you've got a new deal. John Tortorella may have a new deal down the road. You've got a couple of really high-end players there. You've been asked about it a lot, Artemi Panarin and Sergei Bobrovsky. Is there any update on those situations? And Is it hard for you to consider the possibility of maybe moving those guys if you have to?
Yeah, it is. Good players are hard to come by, and when you go through the process of acquiring players different ways, obviously Sergei Bobrovsky was there before I arrived, and then we traded for Artemi Panarin, and now they're with us. They're a big part of us. We want them to be a big part of us for into the many years into the future, and we let them know that, and we're still optimistic and confident that we can get something done with both players, and we value them as teammates and athletes and players. So but it's a business, and at a certain point in their career, they've earned that right to consider other options if they so choose. We have to make some hard decisions.
It is that type of business. A lot on the to-do list of Jarmo Kekalainen. We appreciate you taking some time to join us. Before we let you go, what have you done all summer? What have you done with your spare time? Like, what does Jarmo Kekalainen do in the off-season?
Well, didn't we just talk about Artemi Panarin?
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yes.
Our off season is not quite the off season of the players is. So that's the. But we get a little downtime in July, and I usually go to my home country, Finland, in July, and enjoy the lake view and go to my cottage, and there I'm able to put the cell phone away for a couple hours before the people wake up in North America. So that's my peaceful time there, and until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when Billy Zito wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning in Columbus. I don't get any phone calls, so that's a luxury we don't have very often.
Yeah.
I love that. When you're in Finland, the time difference is your friend, Jarmo.
Yes.
Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it. Best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.